Hello again. My name is Steve George and I'm glad that you're watching this video today. You may have watched another video which provides content for using DataSnap to initiate data exports. But in this video, we're going behind the curtain a bit to share how to customize the DataSnap configuration. Please keep in mind that not all users will have the permissions to deploy these config changes, but this content may still be useful so that you can request your Gold Client administrators to deploy changes accordingly. This video will focus primarily on how to customize the selection criteria fields which appear on the DataSnap screen. We will also spend a bit of time on the data limit parameter, covering some other useful info, and the available resources. Let me first share with you some useful content regarding the DataSnap config. Qlik provides default config for more than 150 data types. It's common for customers to add new fields to the DataSnap screen for a select number of data types. Customers are free to customize those data types where no default configuration is provided. The configuration is centered around the tables and fields which need to appear on the selection screen. Additionally, there are settings available for defining active and required selections. Defining the entry as active means that it will appear on the DataSnap screen, where inactive means that it will be hidden. Defining the entry as required means that the user will be forced to input a value into this field as part of their selection criteria. There is also a field where a custom description can be defined which overrides the SAP description that appears on the DataSnap screen. This option may be useful on an occasional basis. Let me now show how easy it is to add a couple of fields to the DataSnap screen. To reach the Gold Client solution, use T-code ZGOLD, Z-G-O-L-D. From the Gold Client screen, select the DataSnap function. I'm going to input data type SD sales documents. Before proceeding with the config changes, let's have a quick look at how the screen looks currently. We can see three fields: sales doc, sold to, and the created on date. I'm going to return to the previous screen and select the Data Type Manager button. On the next screen, expand the data type to see its maintenance views. Double-click on the one named DataSnap. This will cause two subscreens on the right to appear. As you can see, three fields are already configured. I'm going to add an entry for sales organization and another for sales document type. First, convert the screen to change mode, and then add a new row. Input the respective table and then the field of your choosing. Set the entry as active. I'm now going to repeat this for the second field. When done, use SAP's Global Save icon to save changes and then exit the config. Freely add any notes here about the changes that were deployed. From the DataSnap screen, select the Execute button. On the next screen, we can see the newly added fields. I'll now share details about an important parameter that is part of this config. The DataSnap config includes a parameter named Data Limit. It controls the maximum number of records that a user is permitted to export during a single execution. The default value is defined as 1000 for all data types, which are delivered standard by Qlik. Users are free to adjust this value accordingly for each respective data type according to the organization's requirements. The reason 1000 is used as the default is because the Qlik team feels this number is large enough for most use cases, and yet this number is not so large as to cause performance issues in sensitive systems such as prod. It's important to be aware that this parameter is only applied at the top-level data type. For example, if the user selects data type SD sales documents to export 1,000 sales orders, and there are 2,000 related deliveries, all of these deliveries are still included in the data export. If this parameter was applied to all dependent data objects, it could have a significant impact on data integrity, and so this is why it's applied only to the data object that is being used as the basis of the export. This screen capture shows where this parameter is located. It's in the subscreen just below where I was deploying the config changes earlier in this video. I want to now share with you some more useful information about the DataSnap config. Be aware that if there is no DataSnap config defined, the error message of data type is not configured for DataSnap will occur. It is necessary to define at least one field within the DataSnap config to bypass this error. DataSnap config changes can also be deployed via the DataEcho framework function. When accessing the config using the DataType Manager function, the user is limited to only the data type that was selected on the DataSnap screen. If there is a need to customize multiple data types, it's probably more efficient to access the DataEcho framework instead. The DataSnap config is global, so all users will receive these changes, but the impact on them is generally minimal since most fields are optional. The notable exception is if the required selection setting is changed. This may create some frustration for users since they may be forced to apply criteria that they do not know or have. The default date parameter is a more advanced topic and is not covered in this video. Relevant content is available in the DataEcho Advanced Config User Guide, and of course you can reach out to the Qlik support team for further information if needed. For additional information that has been shared in this video, including how-to content, please reference the DataEcho Advanced Config User Guide, which is located on the Qlik Help website. I hope that you will find this content to be helpful when customizing the DataSnap screens for your organization. Please consider watching the other videos available within the Gold Client library.